So, you're looking to try to get mini llamas, huh? Well, with this guide, I'll be showing you everything there is to know about storm shields. Here are loadouts, how to build each zone, different trap tunnels, what are block offs, everything. So hi, I'm Araguchi. Welcome to Storm Shield for Dummies, or S.S.D for short. And for this video, I'll be showing you the hero loadouts that I use to help people with their storm shields. So, without the bullshit out of the way, let me show you build number 1, where it's pretty much just a bear build. Now, for my commander, I choose Cyberclops for a fairly specific reason, and that's mainly due to the plasma arc. Now, the plasma arc can hit multiple enemies, so with the normal bear itself being able to shoot 4 shots a second. Now, sure, you can argue to use Berserker, which will give you that additional shot per second to 5. But with Plasma Arc, you can kill more enemies per second. And if you're trying to hard carry with a bear, this guy's the way to go. A close second would be the Joey Teacup under warranty, because when it malfunctions with the Plasma Arc, it can do some good burst damage, but you're kind of relying on a 5% chance for your build to work, and this guy's only requiring a 20. More bang for your buck. Now, the main way you want to play this guy, you kind of want to stay a little bit away from the spawn, and then just put your bear and drone down. That's about it. Now, if there's a trap tunnel, don't fucking block it. If you put the bear in the tunnel, it's gonna block the path for the husk, and the husk are gonna just hit other stuff. So just don't put your bear in the tunnel, and you should be okay. Now, with this build, if you're a high level, and you're trying to help people storm shields, you could pretty much use this build from Stonewood to Canny. Once you hit Canny 9 and 10, that's where it's a little debatable, and you can switch to the second build, which you'll see shortly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, just don't block tunnels with it, stun with your Canny, you're good to go. Now, once you hit Twine, there's 2 options. Option A, or 1, would be the melee. Now, with the melee, since most of them are kind of somewhat broken and they never drain durability, this is technically the cheaper option out of the 2 for 20. Now, for the weapons I use, I'll cover that after the hero loadout, but I'll mention the main 2, the Husk Warper and the Ear Splitter. With the Husk Warper, you can just suck in enemies, deal some good damage. And the Ear Splitter is just when there's that bright shield husk guy, mainly for those. But with this, you pretty much just heavy attack for days, never really die, and you just go in the spawn and fuck shit up. Now for this, you would swap to this for the Canny 9 and 10, if you were debating on whether to bring the bear or not. With this build, you can technically take this build to Twine 1 through 10, and they will be fine. But if you're trying to do like a solo hard carry, like if you're trying to do a Twine 10 for like a power level 40, this build can get squishy. So you just have to bear that in mind. It can kill a lot of husk at once, but it can kind of get fucked real quick. So that's why I have the Energy Siphon and the Monster Smash to kind of keep it tanky and keep it alive. It's just from totally rocking out alone and the rock and riff perk bonus, whatever it is, as a whole. Your melees are doing like 200k plus pretty much every hit. So like it gets the job done, but for mist monsters you definitely have to finesse a little bit. And that's where I would use each of the Spectral Blade or the Mythic Sword. I don't know what the fucking name is. But anyway. Now for the third build. This is more for if you're trying to do like an absolute hard carry, or if they actually have a good trap tunnel and you're just mainly on smasher duty, you would use this. You would use this primarily with the Xenon bow, and I currently have this set up for some AoE damage as well, but you can swap this out for the reload and the sniper damage if you're looking for more single target. So you would swap the plasma arc for quick scope, and not sure where the fuck it is. Either way, this is what I mainly run because I try to get some AoE damage so I can trigger the totally rocking out, so I could hit 600 to 1.3 mil crits consistently. And this build is just primarily built on the Xenon bow. Without the Xenon bow, I would not recommend using this build. So, now with all those out of the way, let me show you the weapons. I guess I'll cover Freya first, because hers is only just one. So for Freya, I have the Xenon bow. And the only reason you use it is because it can just pierce through anything. So with Freya, you can kind of stand at the back of the tunnel and just kind of shoot between the tunnel and spawn. That way you can kill the smashers and the Huskat spawn as well. So you can trigger your rock and riff. And I just roll it 1 crit rate, 2 crit damage, and the damage. The damage can be changed depending on your playstyle. Like if you wanted to do extra damage for the mist monsters, that's fine. Or if you wanted the extra crit rate, if you didn't want to run totally rocking out, that could work, but I'd recommend just the 1 crit rate. Just in case you don't have the totally rocking out, you can still do something. But if you're the one building in their base and you're doing all the work constantly, you might be able to get away with taking the crit rating off, but for general stuff, that would be the way to go. Now for the melee build, you kind of have different options. The main two I use, the Husk Warper. Now for the 6th perk, unfortunately I don't have the right schematic for it. The main one you're looking for is the one that does the particles, not the ring. The ring sucks. The particle is good. And that's primarily due to the particles now will grant you energy back with anti-cuddle. And before it didn't, so crit rating was the best. But since those particles grant energy back now, I try to get a particle one. And for weapon number 2, also for this, the heavy attack efficiency, you can swap out for damage. But sometimes if you're doing like a high twine, and it's an energy wave with the Rise Shield Husk, you can kinda get screwed real fast. So I kinda just use heavy attack to give myself some wiggle room. But if you really practice and master the melee build, you can swap it for damage and be fine. Now the ear splitter. This one you kinda have to run heavy attack efficiency, because under this current patch, 13.2, when you use the ear splitter for a long period of time, you will no longer grant energy back from anti-cuddle, and eventually you'll just drain. The main way you can combat this is by running like a whole different hero build built specifically for the ear splitter, which you would run the Fossil Silly, the Dino Outlander, and you would run Blast from the Past, so you can obviously grant the energy back, and with that you can maintain it longer, but eventually you will kind of run out. But with that Dino Outlander build, you can hold the ear splitter down longer, but the ear splitter you're only using for like Riot Shield Husk anyway. Now, if you're trying to kill the mist monsters with the melee build, I would just recommend the Mythic Sword, because that ground heavy attack can just do so much damage. So you'd run up to the mist monster, do the air heavy attack to close the distance, smack him with the sword a couple times, use the ground heavy, repeat till it's dead. Pretty simple. If you don't have that, Spectral Blade can work, does the job. If you're looking for like a slight cheese setup, you could use a surround pound and kind of crowd control Husk through a wall, which, depending on the person's trap tunnel, you could make use out of this. Now for utility and movement, there's three options. There's the Guardian's Will, which is a combination of the Walloper and the Baron, which this I've been kind of sticking to. It's got the benefits for both. And I don't know, I just kind of like it. Then you also have a Walloper, 3 times heavy attack efficiency, so when you're using a ninja, you can just double jump, heavy attack, cover a lot of ground real quick. Especially if you're going from higher ground to lower ground, you'll have the advantage over everyone. And then your 3 movement speed Baron, which, depending on the hero you're using, could benefit. And if you're using like an Outlander or a Soldier, it'll work. If you also want to use the Mythic Hand, that can kind of work too. This one's not too bad for the Riot Shield Husk, so this is like a slight alternative, but this one does drain durability. The Ear Splitter does it with the heavy attack, so kind of pick and choose, and that's how I would perk it for Storm Shields. But that should cover pretty much everything. Oh, for Cyberclops, if you have no choice but to use a weapon, just any weapon that's energy. You should just use either the Xenon Bow or just Mythic Pistol. AR works, the Atomizer works. Just any weapon that deals energy damage so you can take advantage of the Plasma Arc and kill more enemies at once. Well, that should always cover the hero loadouts that I use. So, if you found this helpful, be sure to follow me on Twitch. I'll have the link in the description below. And shall see you guys for the next guide. Peace.